Okay, I'm back, and we're going to be betting number 4, and we'll see how this session goes. Let's just get spinning, try to get as many spins in as we can. Either we're going to win this session. You can see I'm at 38.34. Our goal is now 38.64. Okay, so we're going to be spinning it out here and seeing where we go. How straight are the lines going to be? Well, they're looking pretty straight so far. Okay, so that'll be selection. I'll just make this here. Okay, and all right, so there we go. Now we're at 38.51. Once again, our goal is 64. So let's continue on here. And let's see how straight things continue to be. That was a very straight line. As you noticed, we got a hit almost immediately. It's very straight in the direction we want. And let's just see how it goes from here. Yeah, it's interesting when you think about cumulative probability. You know, because it works against us. Every win that we achieve makes the next win less likely. Every loss that we achieve makes the next loss less likely. And that's, you know, and it's cumulative. A cumulative probability is directly tied to variance. Okay, I mean they're directly related. And, you know, otherwise everything would work perfectly. In 37 spins, we would have 37 unique outcomes. So, but cumulative probability on every spin makes that practically impossible. So, and there's always going to be positive variance at all times. There'll always be negative variance at all times. So the question is where the variance is being applied to which numbers, you know, at any particular time. So, and you know, if it's, yeah, I mean, it's interesting the way to quantify variance. That's the thing. When you start getting into standard deviations, you start realizing that you have a scope that you can work with, and roulette doesn't always work on your scope. You know, like you're saying, I want to track X number of spins and, you know, use standard deviations. Well, roulettes may not be, you know, that may not really actually work out towards your purposes and your goals. And so it's just very interesting, you know, variance is in the eye of the beholder, as whether it's positive or negative. I mean, it's sort of subjective. But, you know, for practical purposes, we just look at the way we apply our system to roulette, and then we just label it positive or negative variance. So, and there we are. Let's see how we did here. 59. So we want 64. So let's keep going. Got one more hit could do it for us here. So roulette's riding in very straight lines. The number 4 has been accelerating this whole session, and it has not stopped. Every time that it gets a hit, it's moving faster. So it has, you know, and the cumulative probability. I don't want to curse myself, like, which I really can't. Okay, I can't really curse myself. Okay, but I just want to say, cumulative probability for this number also exists. You know, it's had hits greater than expectation now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in a row, right? So right now the chances of it doing it again, I don't even know, but it's probably something like 15% or something. I mean, it's probably lower. Now, those are static odds, okay? Right now, what we're betting on is a number that is being favored by law of the third. Okay, so my supposition or my hypotheses, or at least, you know, my goal, my attempt, what I'm attempting to do is gain something that's better than expectation. And sure, is it gonna balance out over time to where I'm not getting any better results? Supposedly, and I'd probably, and there's really nothing we can do about that. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to keep negative variance away for as long as possible by selecting numbers. I'm making bet selections that are what we hope and what we suppose and hypothesize are more likely to hit. So, you know, I'm targeting a number that is experiencing a very large amount of positive variance, with the understanding that that's how roulette works. That there's going to be 4 or 5 numbers that are going to always be the hottest numbers of all the numbers, no matter how long your spin sequence is. So I'm definitely calling number 4 one of these numbers, and without a doubt it's going to be like that for the whole session, regardless of how long it is. And I mean, right now some of the other numbers that I'm looking at are well, that's amazing. Just as I was about to call out the number it hit, but number 1, number 3, and number 14. So those are the 3 other numbers that I'm watching. There's outliers. There's other ones out there that I could, if I really wanted to look hard and like apply myself. Number 13 just became one of them. So, you know, things are changing. It's early. It's only been 55 spins. Okay, but clearly number 4 is one of these numbers, and as is number 1, as is number 13. Okay, those numbers are going to be strong. Regardless, they're always going to be relevant. They're going to be above expectation, and it's just the way it's going to work. So I'm targeting these numbers. Now, the problem is, the reason why things don't like always remain that way, that we can always take advantage of it, and where our results will tend to over time balance out, is because all numbers have to sleep. All numbers have to go to sleep. All numbers have to wake up. It's just the way that it works. Every number goes through that cycle, okay, in its own time. So is roulette, is this positive variance that we've identified going to continue on the selection that we've chosen while we're betting it, and for how long? Okay, and that's, yeah, that is that's what it comes down to, and that's what we have to be prepared for. Because as we've been talking, I mean, you saw a couple videos ago, you saw a level 2 session. What happens when the numbers don't come in, and that negative variance is apparent. Okay, so. And we just try. I mean, that's what I have. I have a system that's designed, a bet selection system that's designed to identify the strongest numbers and, stay away, identify numbers that are sleeping and move away from them, and move to the numbers that aren't sleeping, and try to do that continuously. That's the goal of this system. And then try to translate that into profit. So, because the pattern that the system here is, the pattern that it's seeking, the pattern that it's following, is a pattern that roulette will create. The question is just the timing of that pattern, like the timing of which number is making the pattern and when. When is it sleeping? When is it waking up? The timing, spark plugs, So, okay. Right now, we're going to stay with number 4. But we'll be switching out. The numbers we'll be switching to will be either 3 or 1 when they hit. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. 3 and 1 and 13, but 3 and 1 are especially strong. These 3 and 1 are going to be long-term numbers. You're going to, if this session goes long enough, you're going to see these numbers around for a while. And we're going to give 4 a chance to hit. Like I always do, that's just the way I do it. You know, and the only thing we have to do is just simply be consistent. That's all. So right now it's 3, 1, and 13. 3, 1, and 13. But 3 and 1, definitely. Okay, there we go. So we're switching immediately. There we go. So let's make that official. Okay, let's keep on spinning. Yep, 13 became a number, good old boy. So we got 4, 3, and 13. 4, 3, and 13 are definitely good old boy numbers. These are numbers you're going to be seeing for the whole game. But, you know, and all numbers go to sleep, all numbers wake up. So there you go. All right, number 4 is looking really strong. I don't want to switch to it, but I'm just saying, it looks like number 4 is going to come back here with some strength. And I just hope number 1 maintains its strength enough, at least, to get me over to number 4 as quickly as possible. But right now, we don't even know if number 4 is going to continue. We don't know what number 1 is going to do either. But there's no doubt these numbers are top performers. 1 and 4, 3 and 13 are all top performers. You know, so. And we just can't drive ourselves crazy with tracking so many numbers, you know. We're going to take the cream of the crop, and that's it. Ooh. Alrighty. So, hey, that's good enough for me. It's speeding. It's hot. And it may be enough. We may be out of here. So let's just check it out. Yep, 864. So we just did it. You saw the switch. You know, we look. The law of the third operates on every spin. Okay, that's a secret. Okay, and we will identify the best numbers every single session. We will identify them. The only thing that's holding us back is the timing. Okay, of when these favored numbers go to sleep, because they must go to sleep, and when they wake up, and for how long they stay up, and how long they stay asleep. That timing is the only thing that's holding us back, and it will hold us back, and Roulette will discover our weaknesses in our, you know, it's gonna happen. And we just gotta be prepared for that, because it will happen. And you saw a level 2 session. Well, let me tell you, there's a level 3, and there's even a level 4. And I've been through all of them. And so I'm here standing with large amounts of profit here. I mean, in 10 minutes, basically 10, 11 minutes, 12 minutes, you know, what we made, 30 units. So, I mean, if you take 30 times 4, it's $120 an hour, you know, betting 50 cents chips. So, it's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Current profit is standing at, let's see here, 24.36, so over $2,400 profit. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna be here for you guys. Okay, so you just keep tuning in, and we'll go through these sessions together. Okay? Yeah, we're free birds. That's what we are.